Hi! Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my blind playthrough of Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. This is episode number 3 being recorded on Saturday, August 10th, 2024. I hope you're all having a fantastic day whenever it is you find yourself watching this. So, I promised in the previous episode that we would start this episode by discussing some of the notes I've made on my notepad here. Beginning first with the idea of a visual tree assessment. So it's described specifically, thanks for the rating, friends. It's described specifically as a visual tree assessment because, of course, there are different ways of assessing a tree. You know, I'm not an arborist, of course, to be clear, I'm a social scientist. So I don't actually know what I'm talking about, but my understanding is that there are many ways of examining, assessing a tree, looking for signs of ill health, looking for signs that it's a risk to the sort of infrastructure around it, and we'll talk a bit about risk in a bit. But essentially, the idea is you have a look at a tree, and you know there's a systematic method for assessing the tree and seeing whether there is a need to assess certain aspects of the tree or certain parts of the tree more closely. And so, you know, when you look on Google for visual tree assessment method or visual tree assessment, you see images like this one where, yeah, it just sort of gives you a sense of the different parts of the tree, what you should be looking for, you know, what are the warning signs that the tree is in trouble or, you know, is either in need of some sort of intervention, whether that is, you know, I don't know to what extent they actually try to save trees. More often than not, I suspect it's probably just cutting it down or cutting down a branch of the tree, a part of the tree that is a bit problematic. But in any case, to look specifically at my notes instead of just winging it as I'm doing, my notes say first and foremost that you're essentially looking at the body language of the tree. What is the tree's body language telling you? And in this case, obviously, it's not good. They're not good signs. But the one thing about the tree that you could look at in terms of its body language, and that you could say this is bad, but it's not necessarily, which is the way it bends. So perhaps I'll use my bow so I can show you what I'm talking about. How the tree doesn't just go up, and then there's the crown. It curves at this point. And so I don't know why that is, but my understanding is that it's not necessarily a sign of ill health. It could be a sign that the exposure to sunlight changed at some point in the tree's history. So in this case, it would be something like, not in this case, but like in reality, it would be something like a building was constructed over here such that it covers up the sun in a way that the tree has to sort of extend itself in a particular direction in order to get at sunlight. Now, of course, I'm using the example of a building, but I don't think that's something, you know, it would take many, many years for something like this to happen, for a tree to become distorted in this way, if it's sort of required to reach out for things. Another thing I'm noticing now, just looking at it, is thinking back to the sort of braided elements, braided curtains that we saw in the Theater of the Divine Beast. It looks almost like it's two trees that are braided in that same way, because we have what looks to be two distinct crowns here. And so crown refers to the part near the top of the tree where all the leaves should be. And of course we don't see any leaves, so that's something we'll get to in a second. But you know, the tree's body language, to sum up, you know, obviously it's not good. There are things falling from the tree. The tree is leaning over, which, you know, as I've suggested, I don't think that's necessarily a problem in and of itself, but like you can see there are shoots coming off of it that just sort of end. Here's another one here, it just sort of ends. So, like, it's not good, but it's not necessarily a problem that is leaning in that direction. However, I suppose the taller the tree goes, the more weight is going to be on this part here, such that, you know, it may eventually fall over. And again, it gets back to that question of the risk involved of the tree, as far as, you know, arborists in our world are concerned. So the second item on my list here is growth defects. You know, there are a number of things that you could point to here that you could probably describe as growth defects. Again, I'm not an arborist, so I don't know enough about this to say for sure, but like there were several spots where it just looks like it's dead. Where, like here, for instance, here. So it doesn't look good. And obviously there's this yellow sap or liquid or gold, whatever, not only leaking from the tree, but running down the tree as well. And again, it's probably not a good sign. So in terms of the parts of the tree, so obviously roots would be at the bottom. We cannot inspect the roots from this distance, obviously, because we're quite a fair distance away from the tree. Things you would be looking for would be things like, again, looking at my list here, fungal fruiting bodies. So if there were mushrooms near the bottom of the tree, that could be an indication that the inside of the tree is rotting with fungus. Alright, so the weather may have changed, and the reason for that is that Aurelia of Astora woke up in the middle of her nap, so I had to just go put her back to sleep, but we're back now. So, where were we? I think we were talking about fungus. So if we were to look at the roots of the tree, we'd be looking to see if there's any signs that the innards of the tree have been overrun by fungus. Obviously, we can't do that right now, so we're going to continue by looking at the bark of the tree. And again, looking for signs that, you know, there may be something awry with the bark. Is there like a cavity or a hole in the tree? You know, are animals sort of burrowing in the tree, which I don't think is necessarily always a problem, but it can be an indication that there's a problem. And then the last part is sort of the crown and the leaves. So that would be, I suppose, this part here and this part here. And so again, as I mentioned, it's almost like there are two trees in one. So it's kind of curious, but that's not necessarily the case. So, you know, I mentioned the roots, it looks like they might be braided. There are trees or plants that are like that. So, money tree, I believe they're called. It's not really a tree, it's more of a plant. Money trees are sold in a way where you can see the sort of braiding of the roots. And so I think that doesn't happen naturally. I think that needs to be done sort of artificially in order to create that look, but it's almost like there's something similar happening here. And then the other things you'd be looking for with the crown is, you know, where are the leaves? Obviously there are no leaves here, so, you know, there's something going on there. And the crown in general, just, you know, signs where spots, as we've already identified, where it just looks like growth has stopped, or, you know, there's just something going on that's not quite right. Once again, there's obviously bits falling from the tree. No idea what that is yet, of course, but it doesn't look good. This sap is leaking out of the tree, you know, into this semicircle sort of tower thing here, so I'm not sure if there's a reason for that, but yeah, in the overall, it doesn't look good. So, if we were an arborist working for, you know, a municipal government or something like that, we would look at a tree like this, see that it was right next to all of these buildings here, and determine, you know, I think this tree is actually much too significant of a risk. There's just so many red flags, so many warning signs that this tree is in trouble that they would likely chop it down. It's just too much going on. There are way too many issues with this tree. Of course, Elden Ring is not set in the modern world. It's not set, you know, in a context in which they have, you know, sort of risk assessment frameworks for trees in municipal areas based on their proximity to buildings and whatnot, but just something for us to keep in mind. Obviously, there's a lot going on with this tree, but, you know, the whole idea of risk is something that it's not something that can exist in a vacuum. It's not something that exists apart from our society, so it obviously doesn't apply in this case, but just thought I would point that out. You can see there's like an additional layer of roots almost in the sky. Is that an indication perhaps that there are roots leading to a tree above where we are? It looks like it's just a normal skybox, of course, save for the canopy hanging from the tree or, surrounding the tree. However, if you think back to Bloodborne, the old Hunters DLC, it looked like it was just a normal skybox there too. Or am I thinking about the Hunter's Nightmare? One of the areas essentially where, you would look at the sky, it looked like a normal skybox, but evidently the worlds were stacked in a way that you couldn't actually perceive from below, but you could from above. So it's possible that something like that is happening here. Okay, so that's the first item on my list. The second item on my list is about Us, the 2019 film by Jordan Peele. I mentioned it in the first episode and didn't really have anything intelligent to say about it because, it had been so many years since I'd seen the film, I needed a refresher, so I sort of refreshed my memory about the film. And so essentially the film is a metaphor for the way in which those of us in the West, those of us in privileged first world, quote-unquote, first world countries live in the world. That is, we live in a way that we're sort of blissfully ignorant of the consequences of our lifestyles.
When I looked inward pretty early in the making of this process, look, I can't make this movie without asking myself that question. What are my demons? And I would have to say, I've lived a privileged life of an American, grew up middle class, had an education. I've always been fed. I've always had shoes, and I've neglected I've neglected what that privilege means in terms of the people who have suffered and continue to suffer, so I could have it. Yeah. We're connected to other people. Somebody made these shoes, yeah. So I think that was the part of the message that I wanted to then apply to the us of it. The United States, the nuclear family, is we have an ability to cover up what is uncomfortable for us to face about ourselves. The idea for this movie came from a deep-seated fear in doppelgangers. I love the doppelganger mythologies and different movies that have dealt with them. And I just desperately wanted to make my offering to that pantheon of evil double films. Throughout mythology, doppelgangers often represent bad omens or a foreshadowing of one's death. So I just wanted to sort of pinpoint and work off of that just extremely primal fear. One of the central themes in Us is that we can do a good job collectively of ignoring the ramifications of privilege. I think it's the idea that what we feel like we deserve comes at the expense of someone else's freedom or joy. The biggest disservice we can do as a faction with a collective privilege like the United States is to presume that we deserve it and that it isn't luck that has us born where we're born. For us to have our privilege, someone suffers. That's where the tethered connection, I think, resonates the most, is that those who suffer and those who prosper are two sides of the same coin. We can never forget that.
So by way of an example, you consider the fact that I'm sitting here playing a video game on the PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 is, and with a monitor in front of me, I also have my desktop computer to my right, recording things on. So, there's a whole network of technology that is coming together in order to make this playthrough possible, in order to make it possible for me to sit here and enjoy playing this game. And that network is only made possible to a certain degree by the oppression underlying it. So that is to say, the people who put together all of the various different components of the technologies that are required to sort of bring everything together so that regret, for instance, can come into existence. Hi. I'm laughing, but all of those things are only made possible because people halfway around the world are oppressed, in that they are made essentially to work very long hours in very cramped and unhealthy conditions in order to put together microchips, which are then combined with other microchips by people in other parts of the world, such that and then they're all compiled, sent to a store where, someone like me comes along, blissfully ignorant, excited to play a video game, purchases it all, and essentially contributes to that system of oppression in doing so. And I'm not saying that to make those of you feel bad who are, also enjoying this game, but I'm trying to explain the metaphor of the story of us, which is there are these people, the tethered, who live underground, and the people who live above ground. Everyone has a tethered person who exists in the below ground world, and they are the ones who sort of bear the weight of allowing the person above ground to sort of blissfully enjoy their life, in the same way that I'm playing Elden Ring, but I'm only doing so because people elsewhere are oppressed. People elsewhere in other parts of the world are on the wrong side of a power imbalance. And so bringing that all back to Elden Ring and to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. So I brought up us in the context of just thinking about this whole idea of this realm of shadow and how it relates to the lands between. And I don't know to what extent, if at all, this idea is relevant to the realm of shadow and its relation to the lands between. But it is something that we'll try to explore over the course of the playthrough and see if maybe thinking about the relationship between the two lands in relation to the film Us, whether there's anything there. I'm not sure that there actually is, but yeah, just something I thought I would sort of add a bit of hopefully intelligent commentary about after bringing it up in the first episode and not really having anything too smart to say other than, making a terrible joke with the voice of one of the tethered. Okay, fascinating from this perspective. This far, just how many of the gravestones you can see sort of on the hills here. Really, really fascinating stuff. Okay, so we do have this thing that we still need to deal with. I'm honestly not terribly keen on messing with it at the moment. I feel like it's possible we may need to come back to that at a point when, we're a bit better equipped to deal with it. I think the place we need to go next is here. So in order to get there, let's head back to the 3-path cross. Alright, so we're headed in this direction, indeed. This place is quite eerie at night, I must say. We are going to have to keep our eyes peeled. Oh. Is that the first time we've seen spectral dogs? I want to say that it is. Oh, there's a site of grace. Nice. Okay, let's grab that. There's another set of glowing graves. Greatbridge North. Okay, let's we do need to go and deal with that dragon first, so actually, yeah, let's go do that. Get the thing I don't want to do out of the way so that we can go check out that town. It is so dark. Can't even see oh yeah, there's the dragon. I was going to say I can't see it. Oh, I hate fighting dragons, I really do. Hopefully this one is a bit less flying in the air happy than the other ones. I have a feeling that's not going to be the case though. Oh, great katana. Large katana with a long, heavy blade. A unique weapon A weapon unique to warriors of the Land of Reeds. Designed for aggression, this armament requires the wielder to throw their entire body into swinging it. The slashing attacks of its honed edge incite blood loss. Skill, overhead stance, a skill that starts with the blade held high in a ready stance. Execute a normal attack from the stance to step forward and slash downwards, or a strong attack to deliver a series of downward slashes. Thanks for the rating, friends. So, yeah, the blood loss isn't as good as Rivers of Blood, which we have upgraded but have not used yet. Yeah, I think we'll just stick with Eleanor's pole blade, but good to know. The idea of a great katana I think is quite interesting, actually. Okay, do we have to fight this thing? Oh, yeah, I guess we do. Okay. Ghostflame Dragon. Ooh, that hurts. Dreadful heal. Ooh, and that was stupid as well. As was that, but we got lucky. Oh, not the second time. Ah, we are doing very little damage. I suppose that's because we haven't been able to proc bleed yet. Probably also because I've been focusing on the foot. And not the face. Oh, that was bad. Oh, come on. There's the ghost flame. Not having a lot of luck going after the face either. Alright, you know what? I'm okay to just return there later, so let's leave a marker there. I'll leave a little flag to say that we have to return. I know generally that means you've sort of conquered the place, but let's leave a little flag. And, I suppose we could go grab the runes. It's only 40,000, so I wouldn't be too bothered losing them, but might as well go grab it all. Now it's ready to go at all times. We lost the opportunity to just sort of run around it. Oh well. Okay, surprisingly it's not attacking us. Alright, well we might as well. Okay, that's the cave we've already been to. We should just make sure that there's nothing else going on over here. And then return to fight the dragon a little bit later, when we perhaps feel a bit better equipped to do so. Or not as lazy as I currently feel. Walt Conjure. Probably. Gravebird. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, that was a scripted event, seemingly. Where as soon as you pick up the Gravebird armor, they activate. Oh, where are you going, dear friend? Stone armor with a tinge of green. One of a set of armor pieces cast in the image of the Gravebird. Gravebirds are ancient golems created to guard the spirit graves, built where all manners of death ultimately drift. Okie dokes. Anything down here? Just a massive chasm between this and this. Yeah, I'm going to assume that the dragon has some important item or something, but again, at the moment I can't be bothered. White flesh mushroom. So we're going to leave the dragon for the moment and return later. Abandoned Ailing village. One of those sad flymen. Oh. Sorry. Greater Potentate's Cookbook level 10. This allows you to craft hefty fly pot. These don't typically have lore associated with them. At least they haven't up to this point. Throw out enemies to set a large swarm of blood flies upon them. The vile swarm deals damage and greatly builds up onset of blood loss. The cacophony of their wings assails the sanity of berserkers. Fair. Okie dokes. It's funny, those cookbooks, they're not so much cookbooks as they are recipes for single items. A cookbook, you would imagine, has, 10, 15, 20, 100 recipes in it, and not one thing. Unless... Oh, okay. So instead of level 10, it's like the 10th page of the cookbook. This would be the 11th page. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. That actually makes sense. Okay, those roots for a second I thought we were seeing a la Bloodborne, sort of an amygdala figure just crawling on the side of the cliff. Okay. Ooh, oh, how it hurts from very tip to toe. Help me, I must ask, am I human still? Is that the reason I yet suffer so? Oh, and they're in the fetal position. Very sad. So something else I have pointed out in the past, but just for anyone who's new here, there are mushrooms here. So mushrooms under forests essentially create fungal subterranean networks. So it's a sort of communication network. So these are seemingly, anyway, spirits who have returned to roots. And so they're sort of projecting their consciousnesses, or their spectral image is being projected through the roots, up above the surface of the ground, through those fungal strands of mycorrhizae that run across the distance underground. At least that's what I've argued in the past. I could be wrong about that. I don't see any other reason why there would be mushrooms as part of the sort of ghost model. But, yeah. Again, very much could be wrong. So, that's the Greatbridge that was mentioned in this Greatbridge North. Why would it be called Greatbridge North? Shouldn't this... yeah, anyways. As in it's north of the path that leads to the Greatbridge, presumably, or it's a place that is across from the Greatbridge? I'm not sure. Gosh darn it, why am I bothering? He says that, but then here's another one. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. That was dreadful. I did not deserve to survive that. Oh, come on. Just barely dodged another grab move there. Tell me we're actually going to be walking around down there at some point. Oh yeah, we definitely will be. Looks like it's going to lead to another city. Way over there. Interesting. Black Firefly. Okay, let's head back so that we don't miss that item. More revered spirit ash. Is there anything on the roof? Does not look that way. Wow. Okay, so this appears to be the way down here. Oh, that is actually not in the river. That town. Interesting. Oh. Ouch. Oh, they've been buffed by this shadow sorcerer friend here. Whew, okay. Okay. Just an empty house. Lots of bodies here. These are not horn scent bodies, though. Ailment Talisman. A talisman depicting a soul taken by sickness. When certain ailments are triggered, this talisman grants resistance to the same ailment. When the weak were infected with the dreaded fly sickness, they perished well before the metamorphosis could take hold. Oddly, those who cared for the infected and made certain they were given a proper burial were never afflicted themselves. Okay. Alrighty, I guess we'll return to that path. And see, this is the thing about the sort of open world exploration that I was somewhat critical of during the base game, which is that it doesn't always lead to anything. Like, the rewards aren't always necessarily good enough to justify taking the time to complete the content. And you know, it is what it is. Like, you can't always have worthwhile rewards, and what constitutes a worthwhile reward will depend inevitably on the build the person is using. Run down Traveler's Rest. Furnace Visage. Furnace Visage. Greater Potentate's Cookbook, the second page. I've been saying level 2, but yeah, I guess it's page or something. This is for Hefty Furnace Pot, and this is a smaller imitation of the Furnace Golem's visage. Oh, so that's a Furnace Golem, a stone mask surrounded by curled horns, depicting the fell god of fire that haunts the sagas of the Hornscent. Craftable item prepared using a capacious cracked pot, imbued with a hex of the furnace. Throw at an enemy to create a whirlwind of flame. The furnace's flame burns away both body and soul. When impurity is thus expunged, one calls it cleansing. Okay. So those are extremely rare. Because, yeah, they consist of multiple exceedingly rare items, so I don't know when we'll be crafting that. Okie dokie. Let's cross the bridge then, I suppose. Ellac Greatbridge. Something is gonna be a dragon or something. Yep. I was gonna say there's no way we can just cross this bridge without any resistance. Yeah, thankfully that wasn't all that difficult to manage. I suppose that's the difference between this and Dark Souls, is that, yeah, we have Torrent. cannot parry that attack, friend. Oh, that's dreadful combat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally deserved to get my rear end handed to me there. That was dreadful. So let's try that again. Not totally used to using the parrying dagger, but really let's not blame the parrying dagger for this, because ultimately I tried to parry a kick, which you cannot do. So no wonder they kicked my rear end. Get wrecked. Ooh, come on. Get off. Hop off, please. There we go. I was hoping you could... Obviously, you couldn't do that in the base game. You couldn't use the ballistas in the base game that the NPCs use, but I was hoping that you might be able to. A la the ballista in Dark Souls 2, which I always enjoyed using against the enemies. Let's try our parrying dagger again. These friends hit quite hard. Direct. Okay, so they've got several bodies impaled on these pikes here. Typically gruesome for FromSoft. Not totally out of the ordinary, but yeah, they're basically charred black. So my assumption is that this would be the work of Mesmer. So as in the base game, these encampments are often guarded by one or two very fancy looking knights, and we have one such knight over there. This one. With a lot of HP. Ooh, that hurts. With a massive great hammer, it looks like. Wrecked. Fire Knight's Cookbook, page 2. A record of crafting techniques left by the Fire Knights who served Mesmer the Impaler. Details the art of wielding fire for the benefit of soldiers setting out to join the crusade. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following. Fire coil. I wish you could sort this page by... That is a glaring oversight. Fire coil, a device of fire used by Mesmer's soldiers. Lingering embers bundled into a coil. Craftable item. Uses FP to conjure tiny fire snakes from the spot that it is thrown. The writhing snakes pursue foes. Fire was a symbol of the crusade, and even Mesmer's rank-and-file soldiers would wield it. Okay, so we accurately identified these friends as followers of Mesmer. Whoa. Interesting looking fire. Good one. Oh, so there's the... Oh, okay, that's interesting. So they're like Pokeballs, but for fire dogs. Unless I misunderstood what they did there, and that there was just a separate dog running around that was on fire. It looked almost like he threw the thing and then the dog spawned. Quite interesting if that's the case. I've become a bit turned around here. So why are all these friends camped here? Ember of Mesmer. So we need that to craft one of those items. Serpentine cord-like ember, material used for crafting items, mainly found in Scadutree. A remnant of Mesmer's flame, the symbol of the crusade, it continues to smolder as if crawling across the ground. Okay, so we could continue going in that direction. What are you? Oops. Is it a giant, new giant or something like that? It's again, plenty to take in here. Oh, there are some perfumers over there. So there were also perfumers as part of Mesmer's army. But at least based on what we were told in the base game, beginning in the Shattering, perfumers sort of became a standard part of any army. Oh. No, don't you dare. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, that's bad. I suppose it is an open question as to whether this place is sort of in line with the typical sort of chronology of the game. It's never clear whether that is the case or isn't with FromSoft games. It's a lot of timey-wimey stuff that happens, of course. He's chaining. Okay. His friend buffed and then forgot what was happening. This is often the problem I have in these open world areas, is that everything sort of looks the same, And as a result, you just sort of end up wandering around, and it's not terribly interesting, at least not to me. Okay. Wonder, is that another one of those bosses? Mini boss dungeons. I assume this is where we're going. Alrighty then. Like, you know, to be clear, it's interesting that there's this military encampment here, and, you know, I'm sure there's stuff to learn from that, but just the act of traversing the space, I don't find especially interesting, because you're just going from tent to tent, being like, is there an item in here? No. Is there an item in here? Yes. It's not, like I said, not especially interesting. Ah. I assume this doesn't have as many parry frames as the buckler. No, but, you know, even then you have to time it correctly, even if you do have more parry frames. There we go. May not be getting the timing right. And then because they all look the same, you end up being like, okay, have I explored this? Yes. Have I explored this? No. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just bad at this. It's entirely possible. So this is another Scadutree fragment. Hence the statue of Marika with the head cut off. Sorry, doggo. Oh. That's too bad. Oh, oh. One more. Site of Grace over there. But we don't want to rest just yet, so we'll just leave that for a second. While we continue our exploration of these tents. Something in here? No. What's in this one? Nothing. Oh, okay. Next one. There's definitely something over there, so... Gosh darn it. Okay, that's a good one. I love the obvious messages. I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, we'll finish exploring over here and then we'll have a rest. Are there any items in here? No. Like, maybe it's just me, but from a gameplay perspective, it's not thrilling. Not that everything needs to be thrilling. Of course, there needs to be time. There needs to be downtime in order for the thrilling parts to actually be thrilling. But, you know, yeah. Okay, so there's some friends there to the right. Easily identifiable based on Mesmer's flame that they're all wielding. Alright. Just get back to patrolling. Pretend I didn't see anything. There's no butterfly hamster alien. Oh wait, there is a butterfly hamster alien there. I thought I was just imagining it. Oops. Okay. Greaves worn by soldiers who serve Mesmer the Impaler, rusted and crusted, and filth from fighting in unending war. That's I don't know if they intended for that to rhyme, but rusted and crusted. It's a good one. Ooh, I was not expecting that follow-up. Well, I was expecting it that time, but that was a lucky dodge. Because I did not get the timing right. Okay. So... Okay, friends. I guess they're not fighting... Because there's 3 of them, and they expect that these 3 friends can take care of themselves, but there are these 1, 2, 3, 4 more of those friends over there, and they're just watching. Keep up the great work, folks. You're doing wonderfully well. Oh, come on. Might as well help out this Mesmer friend. Given how outnumbered he is. Stole his critical attack. Ooh. Can he do it? Oh, those other friends were also in the middle of a scripted event, but it hadn't triggered yet. Because we were too far away, so kind of shatters the illusion. Sorry, friend. You might say I have main character syndrome, but that's kind of a gameplay design thing, I suppose. It's a symptom of actually being the main character. Ouch. Ouch. That one hurt. Alright. Why is this friend just staring over the cliff? Again. You know, your friends are in trouble over here. Oh. You puking bleed blood on me? Bleed juice? I'm not sure how to describe it. Oh, there's a fancy looking soldier. Well played, friend. Where can I parry these friends? You can. Panic dodge. Okie dokie. way too soon. Sacred bloody flesh. Raw meat soaked with blood, a delicacy of the blood fiends, temporarily boosts physical attack power and arcane. When blood loss occurs nearby, further boosts attack power. The blood is said to have fallen from the formless mother's wound. Never will it dry, never will it rot. Okay, so that would have been useful during our fight with the Sacred Lion, because I was using as much of the sort of blood loss occurs in vicinity equipment as I could. So that would have been good to add to that, but I actually don't know if it would stack or not, so it may not have mattered at all in the end. Okay, so we can climb down here from somewhere else. Okay, another dungeon. Figured there would be something in this direction. Ruined Forge lava intake, okay. By grace, if e'er I see another rock, I shall find it. Of this I have no doubt. The altar of the forge cannot be far. Okay. Whoa, look at this place. Okay, intriguing. Very intriguing. Hit them where they're weakest. So, developer message, obviously. So, presumably, they're talking about this spot right in their butt, above their butt. A lot of blood stains. There's the forge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Okay, not off to a great start. Ouch. Does a lot more damage if you hit them in that jewel, whatever the heck that is. I don't know how I didn't fall off there. Okay. Not quite sure what to do here. Oh! What the heck? Okay. I saw that friend on the ceiling. I didn't realize it had aggroed, though. That really... Okay, you know what? I might know what to do. This is going to be difficult to pull off, though. Oh, that's bad. Whoops. Okay, did that not work on him? Of course it didn't. No. Gosh darn it. Okay, let's yeah, I think maybe we can just leave him. Suppose we don't need to hurt them. I imagine ultimately we probably will, but let's see if we can avoid it for now. Sure, enjoy those heals, friends. Hopefully someone returns the favor to me. This place is eerie as all heck. There's another one. Oh, I didn't even get to read that. What did that say? Oh no. Smith's script dagger. Oh, there's nowhere to go here. This is a terrible idea, just running through everything, but so far, so good. Alright, where to from here now, though? Okay, page 13 of the cookbook. We'll have to peruse that a bit later. So far, so good with our pacifist approach. Oh, leave me alone. Quite a few smithing stones here. We Mr. Magooed our way past that one, didn't we? Sorry, friend, I would have praised the message, but I'm afraid of getting hit. Oh. We're back here now. Ah, very clever. Hello. Doing a little shuffle there, aren't you? Doing a wonderful job, friend. Keep it up. I'm sure your clients are extremely happy with your level of service and the quality of your arms. So keep it up. Ouch. Okay. Jumping off it is. Oh, wait. Back at the start. What? Oh, did I mess that up? Gosh darn it. I got scared and jumped off at the last second. Alright. Oh. Okay. So we activated that thing? Was it actually a dead end up there? Or was it always like that? Am I just imagining that that changed? I think I'm just imagining that it changed when it actually didn't. So what is going on with these blacksmiths? Why do they have... You know, why are they the way they are? Their design is a bit curious. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's changed. Other than that pipe sort of going into position. Okay, there's a shiny up there that we've not got yet. Okay. Not totally worth it, but not a waste of time either. Although now we have to get back there. Gosh darn it. Okay. Okay, back here now. Wow, they really don't give you a lot of room for error there. Okay. Thank you. Whoa, okay. Anvil Hammer. Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. So wow, it's a dungeon that doesn't end in a boss fight. That's actually quite interesting. Anvil Hammer, one of the treasures of the ruined forges, a tremendous hammer that incorporates as its head the red-hot anvil of the forge. It is said that the anvil's shape is inspired by that of an altar, and that long ago it was used as such in rite and ritual. Unique skills, smithing art spears, slam the red-hot anvil into the ground, sending up countless spears as it is pulled out. The spears disappear instantly. And this one got us the hefty volcano pot, and then also the smith script dagger. Dagger engraved with a smith script. Reduced mass enhances the effect of the smithing arts, allowing this weapon to function as a throwing dagger for all attacks. Once thrown, the dagger instantly reappears in the wielder's hand, incompatible with Ashes of War that grant skills with an affinity. Interesting. So, yeah, it's like a version of the original sword from Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, cool. Let's return to the entrance. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Let's have a rest, though. Or, you know what? Why bother? Because there was nowhere to go from here. So let's just head back to the castle front side of Grace. So we have to go back to the other side, because there was a path leading in the other direction before we proceed. What the heck is happening here? Before we proceed towards the dungeon area, whatever the heck it is that we're, wherever the heck it is that we're going, I should say. I spotted what I thought was an easy backstab. Turned out to not be so easy. So yeah, let's tuck tail and run away. Correct. Oh, they got buffed by someone. Not sure who. Love a good headshot. As I've said a couple times in the last, well, there's only been 3 episodes. I was going to say in the last 3 episodes, but yeah, in the last 3 episodes, quite enjoying this weapon thus far. Eleonora's Pole Blade. I would highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't used it. Oh, that was... Once again, just Mr. Magooing my way through this. These traps that keep getting triggered and I'm just like, oh, well, I narrowly escaped death there. Just time and time again. You gotta be good to be lucky, as they say. Or lucky to be good. One or the other. Oh gosh darn it. My luck ran out. Whoops. Well, let's take all these friends out one more time. Do love the look of Mesmer's flame. I do wonder though, it's interesting like that there's yet another flame. In the base game we already had several flames. And now there's yet another. Oh, that was dreadful. That was also dreadful. Okay, I will take that. I'm certainly not above that. Wasted some FP there. Where are you going? He's coming to get a closer look. We reallocated our flask during the boss fight, so we don't have much FP left, and I'm just wasting it here. Okay. Do we have fire arrows? I'd like to be able to beat them at their own game, but we don't have a single fire arrow because I don't craft anything, so my own fault, really. All right. Note to self, stay away from flame barrels if you want to live. All of Mesmer's crew, they all seem, yeah, they all have these things, so you have to be quite careful. I realize we'd just be able to jump up here. Oh, that's not entirely fair. Oh, terrible. Darn it. Yep. Honestly, not really sure why I'm bothering trying to fight all these friends. Although, going after those runes now is going to be much more risky. Yep. Oh my gosh, I didn't even grab them. I didn't even grab them. Oops. Okay, it's a much more direct path up here, actually. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, that works. I'm not above that. That was one of the few spots in the game where you get 60 FPS for a few seconds. The frame rate was so smooth. And then you keep going and it's like, nope. No 60 FPS for you. Okay, we're reaching uncharted territory here. So, I do see a couple lighthouses, so let's rush and get those. If possible. May not be possible. It's maybe like that time I ran past... where did I run past? I ran past Stormvale and into Liurnia by accident. Okay, we may not be able to get that lighthouse from here. Oh, that's a bear. Sorry, bear friend. Didn't mean to encroach upon your territory. Oh gosh darn it, come on. Oh no, that's bad. Just trying to activate this thing here, friend. Oh no. Oh. That was weird. Oh, of course there are those vulgar friends here. Okay, so that friend is not... You can't activate them in the same way you could in the base game, in the lines between. So that's good to know. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like we can reach the lighthouse from here either. But we've reached something else. Frightening this place. Catacombs, it looks like. Fog Rift Catacombs. Okay, you know what? I know people got really annoyed at this last time, but I don't feel like doing this dungeon right now. So we're going to light the Site of Grace and then we're going to leave. Again, I know people got annoyed at this last time. I apologize. Don't feel like exploring a place that we don't have on the map yet, just because we've not fully explored the places we do have on the map. So, yeah, hope you all can understand why. And let's get out of here. So I would like to proceed to this castle. Oh, I can't take torrent there, so we're already in the area now. Oh, geez Louise, who is this? Okay, it's just a giant. A lot of the ones that were allied with the Carian royalty in the base game. Castle Ensis. Okay, we can't sneak by them. Okay. Usual giant moveset, it looks like. Ouch. Oh, it's bad. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Royal Magic Crease. Solidified knot grease made from a mixture of magically resonant materials. Craftable item. Coats armament, adding heavy magic damage to attacks. The effect lasts only for a short time. Believed to have been bestowed upon low-ranking Carian knights in lieu of the Fellowship's characteristic swords. So that was a low-ranking Carian knight, seemingly. Okay, whereas previously these corpses were black, as though they had already been charred and burned. These corpses are in the process of burning. So this is before and after. Dreadful frame rate. Somber smithing stone. Yeah, this is not a super pleasant looking area. It's an academy person there. Oh, thought I could walk around them, but there was that bench in the way. Get wrecked. Always target doggos first, because they are a major pain in the rear to deal with as a secondary friend. Case in point. Yeah, again, dreadful frame rate. I know I complain about that a lot, but I think it may have something to do with the fact that, you know, I'm doing this for YouTube. Thinking about the viewer experience and whatnot, and how, yeah, choppy it can be, or choppy it can appear. Milady. A light greatsword, that is, a sword whose blade matches the length of a greatsword, while being constrained to a minimal weight, nicknamed after ladies of noble status for its refined appearance. With cultivated form, one can wield this weapon as swiftly as one might a straight sword. That's very interesting. So, that one combined with like the great katana, very interesting ideas. And I want to say we've seen those things before. In Dark Souls 3, there was a great knife, or like a great dagger, basically. But yeah, I think the two that we've picked up in this episode are unique. So we still have these, but I think we're going to have to access those from elsewhere. I don't think we can access that from the side of the castle, so I'm going to take those off of our thing for now. Healing required ahead. In other words, they mean help me, which is fair enough. Another one of those fancy knights. I can see a Site of Grace up there, though, so we might want to just pass by them and light the Site of Grace first. We have not come across any teleporter traps yet. Loyal Knight's Cookbook. Oh. Did they see us? I guess not. So I was just going to check out my cookbook and there's some guy in here. What is he doing? Oh no, my cookbook. A record of crafting techniques of the Royal Carian Knights. Details of the arts of the old enchanted knights. Or details the arts of the old enchanted knights. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following: Royal Magic Grease and Drawstring Royal Magic Grease. So, we've already read the description. The drawstring one wouldn't be any different, I don't think. New friends. Or not paying attention at your post. I just waltzed right in there and killed everyone. Oh, we have another of Miquella's body parts here. Let's have a rest first. Castle Ensis checkpoint. Scadutree fragment. Castle Cross message. I abandon here the flesh of my body. Message left by Needle Knight Leda, addressed to kindred spirits who also pursue Miquella's trail. Kind Miquella seeks the tower sealed by shadow and the gate of divinity found there. If we are to reach him, we must burn the tree that seals the path, and for that we require a flame. Interesting. So, as you might expect, to some degree these are very parallel paths. You can see the note itself. You can see Miquella's seal on the front of the note. It's the same seal that we see in this item here. Okay, it's been a week since we recorded the episode up to this point. And I don't really remember what we were doing, other than I believe we were ascending Castle Ensis. So there's a corpse down there we've already picked up the item from, but we've not picked up the items from this graveyard here. Though I suppose the entire place is a graveyard. Okay, onward and upward. It's now Sunday, August 18th, on the date of recording, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day still, whenever it is you find yourself watching this. I abandon here the flesh of my body. So, has it only been that one cross that mentioned a specific body part? Do you remember the one where the left hand or left arm was abandoned, but I feel like the rest of them have just mentioned flesh in general and not a specific body part. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Get wrecked, friend. Smithing stone level 6. I feel like that's relatively high level. Oh. You got like 1 HP left there, friend. I'm going to assume we can't open this. Don't have the right, therefore seek right. Hey, oh, that's clever. I'm not sure if that's what they meant, if it was supposed to be sort of a double meaning to right there, because yes, of course, we need to go to the right. And in addition to that, we are seeking the right. This friend needs to just chill for a second. Oh, Mesmer Soldier's Axe, armor. I'm going to assume that was meant to drop. Armor worn by soldiers who serve Mesmer the Impaler. A ragged cloak is draped over rusted mail. Though the chest piece features a Scadutree motif, gold has been used for its engraving, a small consolation to those forced to wage a war without grace or honor. Weapon used by soldiers who serve Mesmer the Impaler. A steel axe worn from use. A favorite of those who lost themselves utterly in their lord's war, capable of performing powerful charge attacks. Oh wait, there was another item we hadn't read yet, this one. Yellow Fulgur Bloom. Yellow flower that crackles with lightning. Material used for crafting items. Blossoms in the realm of shadows, underground grave sites, and places struck by lightning. Imbued with yellow lightning's essence. Okay, perhaps we should make sure there's nothing else I missed, because I feel like I've missed at least one or two of these. But of course it only goes so far, so yeah, if I did, I apologize. I need a lantern here. Give us a little bit of extra light. Of course, I see a doggo down there. Let's just warn them that we're coming. Sorry, doggo. As Aurelia of Astora would say, bow wow. Oh, whoops. Oh, come on. Oh, this doggo's sleeping. Arrows and thin beast bones means to craft additional arrows. Okie dokes. I assume this is going to lead to that graveyard. Yeah, these water effects are not. Maybe not FromSoft's best work. I see turtles. Hi, turtle friends. Oh, dog ahead. Okay, I get it. Okay. Drawstring Royal Magic Grease. Solidified knot grease made from a mixture of magically resonant materials. A short string is attached to this lump. Quickly coats armament, adding... Okay, I think this is the same as... Yeah. The previous one we read. Okay. Not resin. That's the first time, I think, in a FromSoft game there has been actually something hidden behind a waterfall. It's a good thing I always check. Get wrecked, friend, I'm sorry. Common soldier Greaves. Greaves of the rank-and-file soldiers of Mesmer's army. A pitch-dark soot clings to it, much like the inner faces of the men who wore them. The inner faces? What does that mean? So they're common people, in other words. Okay, so we've acquired the right to enter here. And this is going to open that door. Nice. So, yeah, I guess the most obvious meaning is obvious, which is just, yeah, they're common people, which is given away by the title, Common Soldier, of course, but I am very much enjoying this build. Or respect build, I guess. The new weapon. Dex Arcane. It's, yeah, very interesting. Fun to use. You know, it doesn't come with a lot of the advantages that a massive strength weapon like the Greatsword does, but you take the good with the bad. And the good is quite good. At least thus far. Just need to be more mindful of actually adapting my playstyle to suit it. Oh, how did I know you were there? Like wall hacks on or something. Just felt like something was going to jump out of the bush there. What was that? Oh, okay, that is a friend. Multiple friends. With low-level magic, but still high enough level to be very annoying. Hold on, I have to pick up 200 runes. Okay. Is this how we get around to them? Better watch out, friends. Here I come. Yeah, get wrecked. Okay, this is going to annoy me. Where did they go? Alright, well played, friend. I believe that is where we just came from. Oh. Seen you before. It's like the pages from Lionel. Somber Smithing Stone level 6. Yeah, that is where we just came from. Still looking for this other sorcerer. Oh, who are you? Moonrithel. Carian Knight. Alright. Oh. I was gonna say, don't tell me this person's that dumb. Ooh. Ooh. May be dumb, but they are quite strong. Ouch. That one hurt. Yep, that's a big time ouch. Did we miss this room here previously? Oh no, that's where we... Never mind. That's how we entered. It would be just like me to die to a trash mob on the way back to fighting that friend. So very interesting that the Korean royalty seems to have such a presence here. Not sure what to make of that as of yet. But I'm sure we'll find out. Get wrecked, doggo. Oh, come on. Glint's slab firefly. We didn't grab that last time, of course. Is it just the one friend that's teleporting everywhere? I thought there were two. Yeah, there's got to be two. But where's the second one now? Well, now... Oh. Okay. Oh, come on. Yes. Okay, so the particle effects, when they disappear, actually corresponds to where they're going. So, yeah, I'm going to file that upstairs for next time. Because when it was just standing in the same spot, it wasn't actually going anywhere. So, that's, yeah. I understand now how it's supposed to work. Probably should have got that previously, but let's see if we can cheese this friend in some way, shape, or form. Oh, come on. FromSoft saw that coming and erected an invisible barrier there. Did I hit him? No, I don't think so. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay. I somehow aggroed him, I guess from all the arrows I was shooting. Let's go grab our runes first before we proceed any further with this fight. Alright, and let's see what this friend is guarding. I'm hoping there's a site of grace somewhere. Oh, that's bad. Or is it? I wonder if I can get them to aggro on one another. Oh, crud. Oh, that's bad. deserve to die. That was my chance. I missed it. I missed my chance. Oh, I'm dead. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I bit off more than I could chew here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're committed now. Okay, where is the site of grace? I could have swore there was one coming up any second. Nice try. Oh. Oh, geez Louise, look at this, friend. Just waiting for me. Oh, it would be a shame if you fell in that hole, friend. I don't know if you did, but I'll take it. Oh, okay. There's gotta be a site of grace here, right? Ah, that works for me. We are, of course, gonna go back. I really fumbled that one, didn't I? Oh. Oh, I thought that was an NPC. It's just a suit of armor. Okay. Castle Lord's Chamber. How many runes do we need to level up? Just over 10,000, so might as well just use those. So we're not doing the same thing, just running around people because we're afraid of losing our runes. Using the lower level runes, of course, because I do try to keep one of each type of rune on my person, just in case we need to do comparisons for lore reasons. So 7,500, don't need that many, so I'll just use 2. And then let's see what adds more attack power to our armament. It's definitely arcane. So we're probably going to want to stop leveling arcane when we get to 60. Okay, so the question now is, do we just go back to the other side of grace, or do we go backwards? And I'm going to say we should go back to the other side of grace so that we experience the area in the way it's intended to be experienced. The one thing I do find annoying, though, is these sorcerers that disappear. Like, at least now I understand how it is you're supposed to fight them, but, or at least how you're supposed to know where they're, oh gosh darn it. Oh my goodness. You know, guys, wouldn't it be hilarious if I dodged a trash mob on the way back to that other guy? Yeah, that'd be funny. That's exactly what I ended up doing. Okay, so that's one down. So yeah, they're not actually all that difficult to deal with once you sort of know what you're doing. How did you end up here? It really would be too bad if someone could cheese you from here. Oh my goodness. I suppose that's fair enough. The AI is really not designed for this. Gets very confused. Moonrithel. What even is that? Just have to wait for it to get confused. There you go. I was going to say, I'm never going to proc poison at this rate, and then there it goes. Yeah, this friend hits like a truck, so you really just have to be super careful. Oh no, oh no. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, I'm beginning to get to the point where I'm wondering whether we may actually need to start using those Scadutree fragments. Because the amount of damage we're receiving from these enemies is just ridiculous. Even though we're effectively max level at this point. I know we're not in actuality, but like we're effectively there given the caps and everything. Even the trash mobs just do a ton of damage. Is it even worth it fighting this friend? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Jeez. So all it needs to do is just hit you twice and you're dead. Oh, you cannot trade with him. Thank you, bleed. Oh, come on. Gosh darn it. Yeah, almost had him. Okay, he's not too bright. Okay, I don't know if that worked, but let's see. Did it work? No, of course not. Why would it work? Miquella has no hold over these people. The other issue is this friend's always two-handing his weapon, so can't really use parrying, which is obviously one of my go-to strats. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have had that second drink. Oh. Absolutely brutal. Okay, I've had enough. Cheese time. Oh no, oh no. If he's too dumb to climb a ladder, I'm sorry, that's not my problem. No, he's not that dumb. Oh no. I'm dead. Oh. Gosh darn it. I am not a fan of this friend. At all. Moonrithel, whatever their name is. Ridiculous name. Yeah, I don't feel bad anymore. I'm gonna cheese this guy with everything I have. Oh, come on. Okay, this might take a while, so I gotta come up with some sort of editing trickery here. So that you're all not bored to death by this. I apologize, but this friend is just unreasonably strong. Finally! We did it! Yeah. Moonrithel Knight's Sword. Da! Okay, my OBS crashed, or my computer crashed, I should say, so I may have lost the last 10 odd minutes of recording right before the crash. Essentially, went and picked up the blue crest shield, and then came here and picked up the item that was here, spoke to the ghost NPC, so I guess we'll speak to the ghost NPC again, just so you don't miss their dialogue. But, yeah, I questioned whether we were seeing a return of the crest shields from Dark Souls 2 and 3. In Dark Souls 2, the blue crest shield allowed you to parry sorceries. This one doesn't allow you to parry sorcery, or at least not right off the bat, because it doesn't have any skill associated with it. So I questioned whether maybe if you added parry as the skill, whether it might actually allow you to parry sorceries. Its claim to fame otherwise is that it has high magic damage negation, even though it's only 63%, which is not, it's not amazing. Like, there were other shields. I sort of cycled through some of the shields and showed that it's not anomalously high. So, you know, anyways, the description reads, a finely made blue shield featuring an engraving of a wolf under the moon excels at fending off sorceries. The wolf is the beast of the Carian Royal Covenant, a symbol of the moon's pride that none can forget, no matter what remote lands they may arrive in. And we also picked up Rellana's cameo, talisman featuring a gallant portrait of Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight. enhances attacks executed after maintaining the same stance for a certain length of time. Engraved as a reminder of the unparalleled devotion of those who left their homelands to serve Rellana. By your leave, we will accompany you wherever your lunar vessel takes you. So obviously the name is reminiscent of Rellana. They've flipped the L's and the N's. So that's, fairly obvious. The other thing that has me questioning is whether Rellana had a twin, just based on the whole idea of the twin Moon Knights. So presumably this is Rellana's twin. And again, it references lunar vessel. Presumably that's a reference to the same sort of transhumanism that we saw with Rellana's questline, that she bounces from body to body, and it's not actually the body that matters or the embodiment of it, it's the soul that really is the key. So that's what that suggests to me, in particular, in conjunction with the dialogue from this ghost friend. Hi, friend. Oh, Marika, I beg, embrace your child and give us a sign. How long must this holy war stretch on? So yeah, one of the commoner soldiers, it looks like, in ghost form, once again with not only with mushrooms right underneath him, but oh sorry, no, that's a blood stain. That's a yeah, that's a blood stain. You just have to yeah. I was gonna say it's weird, there's like some sort of blood as an environmental effect there, but no, that's an actual blood stain. Okay, what else was there? I feel like there's something I'm missing, but yeah, just in case, I'm going to stop the recording again. There's a thunderstorm outside also, so I'm trying to be careful that I don't lose the recording, but obviously I can't stop the recording every few minutes, but I don't want to have to recap all that again, so I'm going to stop the recording and then start it again. Okie dokie. Let's proceed. Oh yeah, that friend was facing the wall, and I wasn't sure whether that was because of my cheese tactics. Shadow Realm Rune level 2. Oh. Did not see that coming. Probably should have, but what can you do? Something else I talked about. It's all coming back to me now. Various different types of flames. I mentioned this earlier in this episode or in the previous episode, but lots of different types of flames now. So there's, I guess, normal, just fire, normal flame. And then there's the frenzied flame. There's the so-called flame of ruin, the giant's flame. Then there's ghost flame, which is this. And now Mesmer's flame as well. So that's, yeah. We're just further subdividing flame, different types of flame. Interesting that ghost flame appears to be the predominant type of flame here, though. Yeah, we switched to magic arrows at some point. Oh wow, we're almost out of standard arrows. I guess we've been cheesing a lot of friends. Glint Slab Firefly. Wait, I also read that item description, didn't I? So, Glintstone Firefly improved by selective breeding, material used for crafting items, mainly found near Manus Matir. The glintstone that produces its light has become freakishly enlarged, while the span of its life is as brief as a whisper. So I'm just laughing because when the recording session froze, the previous recording, I looked at the timer. I was like, 10 minutes? What did I talk about for 10 minutes? I could only think of a couple things. Clearly, I talked about a lot because this is coming back to me now, too. In the base game, there is, of course, the Cathedral of Manus Celis, which is essentially the Cathedral of the Celestial Hand. It's essentially what it translates to, which makes sense because that's where we found that hand that had to do with Ronnie and that Ronnie murdered. Which was the hand that was presumably assigned to her as an Empyrean. And in this case, I thought, okay, Manus Matir, we should look up what Matir, what does that word mean? And accidentally spoiled myself that there's a boss somewhere in this DLC, some sort of hand boss whose name is Matir. So Manus Matir is presumably something, the hand city or something like that, which, gosh darn it, why of all things to expand on from the main game are they expanding on the hands? I was happy but terrified at the expansion of the idea of the jars. I was not keen on an expansion of the idea of the hands, though. Like, that's not something I wanted. Okay, so this is presumably going to lead to that cliff where there were those items that we saw not too long ago. Again, I think that was before the recording crashed. So, yeah, Dew Gem. Oh. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because we saw a bunch of these things. Once again, brilliant level design. It's something that FromSoft is obviously known for good reason, because, as they say, they still got it. Not that they ever lost it. But, of course, yeah, they experimented with different approaches. Dark Souls 2 is a very interesting game. Its level design is perhaps the weakest aspect of that game, even though I think Dark Souls 2 receives short shrift and it doesn't really deserve all the hate that it gets. These skulls just randomly strewn about. I know that happens in the open world areas, but I don't often see that in the actual proper legacy dungeons. Oh, is that really all there is here? I thought... Okay, that seems... Unless I've just missed a very obvious path. Oh, yeah. Okay, I have, obviously. Glintblade Trio. An old sorcery of the Carian royal family creates a sigil overhead from which 3 enemy-seeking glintblades appear after a brief delay. This sorcery can be used while in motion. Charging increases the delay. The prototypical form of Sword Phalanx sorcery saw a different, subsequent refinement in the realm of shadow. Interesting. I didn't notice that there was much different, if anything, when we were facing... What's her name? Moonrithel. Wait, was that in the same recording session? Did that... Okay, I'm not sure if the previous... Again, I start and stop the recordings a lot just because, life, and I can't... Unlike Days of Old, I can't just play this game for 4 hours straight anymore. So, yeah, each episode is a patchwork of many, many recording sessions. So I can't recall if I read this description before or after the crash. So, Moonrithel Knight's Sword. Great sword embedded with a blue glintstone, the favored weapon of the steadfast Carian knight, Moonrithel. Moonrithel was the twin Moon Knight's chamberlain, She was also a friend to the trolls who served the royal family, and proudly wielded their weapons as she fought arm in arm with her gargantuan comrades. Unique skill, tremendous phalanx. Skill of the enchanted troll knights creates a defensive arch of enormous magic glint blades overhead, which automatically attack nearby foes. Follow up with a strong attack to chain the skill into a lunging thrust. And so I mentioned, and this is something I don't usually do, but for whatever reason when fighting Moonrithel, I was referring to her, I should say, as a he, just as this sort of default. But in my mind, as I was doing that, I was thinking, Carian knights, I think, are often women as well, at least that we've seen or the ones that we've come into contact with. And indeed, Moonrithel is a woman, so my apologies for misgendering them, or misgendering her, I should say. And then, yeah, I'm still thinking about Rellana. That's like, my real name is obviously not Aegon, it's Callum. So Callum. That would be like if I had a twin brother who was named Camul. Callum and Camul. Yeah, that's a stupid joke, but you came for the dad jokes at least. Or at least you didn't leave because of them, unless you're leaving now, in which case, sorry and bye. Okay, I've stopped and started the recording one last time, hopefully one last time. So that, okay, so we didn't need to come down here. We would have eventually found our way there anyway for that chest. I didn't want to have to recap the item descriptions one more time, so just to be safe, I stopped and started the recording again. It's going to be like 30 recording sessions for this one episode. But, it is what it is. All right, we're finally back to where we were. Still looking for places to jump down, alternate routes and whatnot, because, of course, there's a lot of stuff to grab on rooftops that we've seen in the distance, but it's not always clear whether... Oh gosh, there's a lot of them here. Just have to use the built environment to our advantage here. How are you not dead, friend? Okay, that was close. Obviously, we've already got the next site of grace, but, want to go through the area as normal. Just to make sure we're not missing anything, and so that we have at least something of the intended experience. Something resembling the intended experience. And weren't all my friends here a second ago? Okay. Survived another potential death. First off, well done. Thank you. Oh, it's one of those rot servant friends down there. What a miserable area this is. Yep. Oh. Oh, wait. Is that like, are they not supposed to be aggressive or something? Oh, that's silly of me. I should have just left them be. Oh. Wow, well played, friend. You almost got me. Jeez. I remember that from when we were running by to get the Site of Grace, but obviously didn't know it would be right there. Of course, there's a fancy knight there. Imbued sword key. It's the same as before, right? Yes. Breaks the seal on the imp statues guarding the sending gates enshrined in each belfry. Okay. So there's belfries here as well. That's interesting. How did I not parry that? Whoops. Ouch. Ouch. I'm dead. Oh, well played, friend. Ooh. Oh, that delay gets me each time. Oh, darn it. Okay, I know it's cheap, but pretty sure that that friend is right down here. So rather than redoing that whole run back, we can just stab him in the back and try to get our runes back. Not that it really matters, 90,000 at this stage. Because really all we need is Scadutree fragments at this stage. Yeah, indeed, there are runes. And we'll send the elevator back up, though. Uh-oh. I forgot about that, friend. Hey, this is not fair. Okay, we're alright, we're alright. Okay, wow, yeah, having that, having the L2 attack really does make a huge difference. Gauntlets worn by the Black Knights, servants of Mesmer, the Impaler. Black iron ornamented with gold, a rotted odor stubbornly clings to it. Perhaps it arises from the tainted nature of the blood that spattered upon it, or perhaps it is the wearer's own blackened soul, festering after endless slaughter. Dark. Okie dokes, we sent the elevator back up, but obviously didn't need to do that. Yep, this looks like a significant step up from the rest of the place. So let's have a rest. So I suppose this is the banner here. There's a snake coiled around two-sided spears, and then a spear in the middle with what looks like a flame at the bottom. More flames here. You know, flame here, some sort of circle. And again, like a snake coiled around it, it looks like. And you've seen that statue that was in that church with that ghost. I'm not really sure what to make of it. Okay, presumably this is the way forward. Or at least one of the ways forward. Seek dung, okay. So, do we want to go there or do we want to go up first? Let's go here first. Okay, is there anything over here? Not really. Just lots and lots of ruins. And we're getting closer and closer to this sort of Drang Lake-esque castle. As well as the Scadutree itself, which, once again, the closer we get to it, the more convinced I am that it is in fact two separate trees braided together. Another thing I didn't mention in the previous episode, which I meant to, is that at the small private altar site of grace, there are tablets with a braided tree engraved on it, in addition to those braided curtains in the boss room. So, yeah, braiding is a thing in this DLC. Not sure what it means. Of course, during the base game we discussed Braiding Sweetgrass, which is a book by a Potawatomi ecologist named Robin Wall Kimmerer. But, yeah, might have to see whether there's any relevance there to bring that to bear on the current sort of all these references to braiding things. So where are we now in terms of the save file? Still in Castle Ensis. Oh, there's a misbegotten friend. Several of them. Okay, that appears to be the way towards the... I believe that waypoint we set while looking for... Oh, never mind. I set that waypoint when I was making a time-lapse video of the Scadutree to tell myself where to go. Because that's the... Oh, nice view of the castle from here. Here's that friend we shot earlier, who may or may not be aggressive. This is, I believe, where we came from. Indeed. Okay, interesting perspective we now have on the rest of the area that we've sort of... I guess we haven't beaten it yet because there's still a lot of stuff we haven't done. We haven't killed that dragon. We haven't defeated that flame golem yet. So we still have to do all those things, but I'm not really sure what else we can do here. Presumably there's a spirit spring thing somewhere. Unless I'm missing something extremely obvious. Maybe it's just this tower. I guess it's probably just this tower. Silly me. I thought we might be able to jump down there, but I guess, yeah, that's all stuff we've already dealt with. Still waiting for that mimic. Ash of War Wing Stance. Wing Stance. Calmly assume a right-sided stance. Normal attack triggers a rapid 3/ combination. Strong attack triggers a leaping thrust. Usable on light greatswords. Okie dokie. Let's go back in here and make sure we're not missing anything. I think that was it, though. Yep. Okie dokes. Oh, it's just leading right back here, eh? Okay. Try revenge. Okay, well, yeah, I guess rather than taking the elevator back up, might as well just... Oh, come on. Who's aggro to me? I was going to say might as well just warp back, but that doesn't seem to be an option. Oh. Oh my goodness, okay. That's, yeah, opportunity presented itself. I just took the invitation that was given to me. A tad dishonorable, but yeah, I will certainly take it. Wow, okay. Good times. Let's have a rest again. Okay, so we've gone to that path. Now there's only one path left, which is this way. Okay, boss time. Alrighty then. So no telling what awaits us, so let's just go for it and see what happens. Oh, hello, Camel, Camul, pardon me. You hit quite hard, friend. Ooh, ouch. Okie dokie. Who can we summon here? Ah, Needle Knight Letta. Okay. Not going to do that, but good to know that we can. Only 6 rune arcs. Might want to create another restore point. And we're going to need some magic damage negation, so let's work on that. Oh, so trying to get some extra magic damage negation. This is a very mismatched set of armor. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna stick with this, but certainly, yeah, it's a thing. There are 100,000 runes there. Ouch. Oh, that one hurts. Why can we parry you? Yeah, okay, but it looks like it's... Okay. Yeah, you need to get multiple parries before you can actually riposte them. Also, it doesn't do a lot of damage, so I don't know how worthwhile it is even trying. Ouch. Ooh, I shouldn't be trying to trade. Message was praised too late. Alright, let's keep trying. I think before we use any rune arcs, we'll just have to, yeah, get a bit better at the boss fight first. You know what? I'm going to save quit. Or do I want to bother? It's 100,000 runes. I don't know why I'm bothering. Okay, forget it. We also didn't drink our flask. I don't know what I'm doing. Terrible. We're both missing. Ouch. You see this being a very fun boss fight once you learn the patterns, but I don't think we've reached even the second phase yet, so... Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh. Yep. Now, I suppose we've triggered the second phase. Oh, we're dead. Ouch. Okay, that was really ugly, but we got our runes, so let's quickly spend them. Okay, so I created a restore point because, yeah, honestly, I just can't be arsed to farm rune arcs. So you'll have to forgive me because I do think we're gonna need the extra HP in order to defeat this boss. So yeah, let's give it a shot. Oh my goodness. All the extra HP in the world is not going to help if I can't dodge. That's still dreadful dodging. Oh my goodness. She really punishes heals with that projectile attack. There it is. Ouch. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm done. That is to say, you know, I thought, given our current level, we're level 183. I thought we wouldn't have to do anything, that we could just breeze through the DLC, that it wouldn't be an issue. And initially, I liked the idea of these Scadutree fragments. Because I was like, yeah, you know, it's great that they're allowing you to modulate the difficulty. But the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. Because, or even are they, yeah, it's just, because now I'm thinking, and you know, this is not necessarily on FromSoft, this is on me. But the sort of anxiety I feel about, oh no, everyone's going to think, oh, Aegon, I can't believe he used his Scadutree fragments. Even though he's level 183, he really didn't need them, but like, it's supposed to boost damage and damage resistance. And like, I'm just not doing enough damage to this boss. And they're doing a ton of damage to me. So it's just, I just don't see how this could possibly be sustainable over the course of a full playthrough, because this is just the second boss we're facing, second proper boss we're facing. So yeah, I'm going to use some Scadutree fragments. Let's start with 2 maybe, and then we'll just go from there. So apologies if everyone was expecting me to just not use these, but my goodness, I am just getting shellacked here. It's just not fun. We've talked about this before on the channel. I think this whole idea of like artificial difficulty versus sort of organic difficulty, and when you're just tweaking damage numbers as opposed to tweaking sort of the specific way the boss sort of reacts to you and how you're supposed to damage the boss, then yeah, I just don't see how that's enjoyable difficulty. Maybe that's just me. Thanks for the rating, friends. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just terrible at the game, but yeah. Again, I apologize if anyone is going to be upset about me using the Scadutree fragments, but yeah, it's just not fun to just get your butt kicked by a boss over and over and over again. It was somewhat reasonable, I felt, with the dancing lion friend, but yeah, and not so with this boss, at least not right now. So in terms of our loadout, I have this one for raising stamina recovery speed. I'm considering adding this one. Where is it? The Twin Blade Talisman. The final strike of their onslaught is all the more deadly. I don't know how worthwhile that is to try, because again, it's very difficult to actually even be aggressive with this friend. Classic Rellana. Okay. Okay, Kamul, let's do this. I didn't even use Rune Arc, but you can already see how much less damage their attacks are doing to us. Her attacks, I should say. Yeah, it's like night and day. My goodness. So yeah, you know, I'm still torn about the whole Scadutree fragment thing, because, you know, to be clear, I didn't think I was doing well enough against the boss to warrant beating them, of course, but I just couldn't see how in the long term that was going to lead to a successful attempt. Still need to learn the moveset and everything, but... And you know, I don't even think we've reached the second phase yet. Not going to do it that way. Well, that's new. Oh, okay, I was not expecting that second attack. Oh. Oh. Oh no. What is this? Oh. Okay. Oh dear. Oh. Well played, friend. I was not expecting her to become Pontiff Sullivan. Yeah, that was a lot more reasonable, though. Again, just... yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Scadutree fragment system. I feel like the ideal system would be one in which they actually scale the DLC to whatever your level is, but then I guess there's a lot of variables to account for because, you know, level 180 is not level 180. Some people will have a much more optimal setup than others. So yeah, it's really difficult to say. You know, maybe it's just the old school Souls player in me, but like I feel like the best system is to just have the DLC at one difficulty and then just, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I can see both sides of it, but this feels a lot more reasonable and doable, whereas the other one, it just felt impossible. Even though, of course, I wasn't doing well. It's not like I deserved to be beating her back before I used the fragments. Both missing each other. Oh. I need to not be using so many flasks in the first phase. That second hit comes really quickly. You really have to be prepared for that. Ooh. Wow, I got lucky there. Need to heal. Oh. Getting closer. Wow. Okay. We did it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know when I started recording this episode. I want to say it was mid-July. Or sorry, mid-August. It's now August 31st. Because yeah, just have not been able to beat the boss. And believe it or not, I was just about to burn a third Scadutree fragment because I just didn't think that I could do it. You know, at a certain point I was just like, gosh, this boss fight is just kicking my rear end. And once again, I took a similar approach to the approach that I took with the Divine Dancing Lion, or whatever that boss's name was. What was it? I guess it was just Dancing Lion. Yeah, so same approach I took with that boss, which was just be aggressive. Just aim for that bleed, keep attacking until you get it. And we did it. I didn't even use a rune arc. I had just, before I stopped recording last week, I restored so that I had some more rune arcs again. Saves coming. I think I'm going to probably stop doing that at this point, and instead I'll just burn a Scadutree fragment if we get to the point where I'm really getting my rear end handed to me and I don't know what to do. But then this is the challenge and sort of the problem I have with the Scadutree fragments, is that had I burned that third Scadutree fragment, I'd be wondering to myself, did I defeat the boss because I defeated the boss, or did I defeat the boss because I burned a Scadutree fragment? And I suppose I'm going to be asking that question to myself anyway, because I did burn 2 of them. And I was about to burn a third, but then I was like, you know what? I haven't even tried yet today. I literally just started recording. That was my first attempt. And like, it was like almost an accident that I defeated the boss. I guess that's also a testament to sometimes you just need to take some time away. It was a very busy week at work, so obviously I don't typically have time to record during the week, but especially not this past week. Last weekend was very busy as well, so I didn't have a lot of time to record last weekend, and so just hopped on. Okay, I'm like, I maybe have half an hour to record today. Let's see if I can finish this episode finally. And oh my gosh, I did it. Wow. Okay, let's get out of this ugly armor. And by ugly armor, I guess I just mean the headpiece, because I actually don't mind the rest of the armor set. But yeah, let's have a rest. Ensis Moongazing Grounds. So indeed, this did strike me as a rather similar location to the location in which we fought, what was her name? Yeah, the Royal Moongazing Grounds. Loretta, I want to say, Knight Loretta. The ghost of Loretta in any case. So, yeah, I suppose it's not a coincidence that both boss fights take place in this circular pool of standing water. Or maybe it's a wading pool, I'm not really sure. I don't really see haven't seen any kids around, so probably not a wading pool. But ostensibly a moon-gazing wading pool. I'm not sure what a pool of water arranged in a circle with a single chair here, what that has to do with that, but in any case, let's have a read of the Remembrance. Remembrance of Rellana, the twin moon knight, hewn into the Scadutree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the finger reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. Once a Carian princess, Rellana disavowed her birthright and chose to stand at Mesmer's side instead, knowing full well that not even the brilliance of the moon could grant him succor. Before long, she became known as the Sword of Mesmer. Knowing full well that not even the brilliance of the moon could grant him succor. So we heard a similar line from Kenneth Haidt. I believe he was asking the Erdtree to grant him succor. So I think it's like, I should look it up instead of just pretending like I know things. 1 second. Succor is assistance and support in times of hardship and distress. So, not even the brilliance of the moon could grant him assistance. Before long, she became known as the Sword of Mesmer. So, So I wonder, would she have been an Empyrean? I suppose she didn't really give herself the chance to find out, so she disavowed her birthright. So presumably that means her birthright, I suppose, as Carian royalty, doesn't necessarily mean that she would have been or was an Empyrean. Very interesting stuff. This is once a Carian princess, so she had to have been Rellana's sister. Yeah, we're not going to go anywhere from here because this episode is already over 3 hours, but let's head back to the Roundtable Hold and see if we can't learn a little bit more about our friend Camul. Sorry, friend. Rellana's Twin Blades, Carian Light Greatsword embedded with blue glintstone, weapon of Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight. 2 swords as a single armament. When two-handing, a straight sword engraved with golden flame will be carried in the left hand. Here and here alone were moon and fire ever together. Unique skill, moon and fire stance. Assume ready stance, swords imbued with magic. Follow up with normal attack to cast glintstone light waves, or strong attack to perform a spinning attack that bathes the area with flame. Light waves can have up to 2 follow-up casts with additional inputs. So I'd be interested in trying that. However, we don't have the intelligence or the faith, and I've respect enough, so I think we're going to stick with our current build for the moment. But if we do come across a twin blade weapon for that is dex and or bleed oriented, I'm going to seriously consider whether we might use that. Rellana's Twin Moons. Sorcery of Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight, associated with a Carian princess. Incarnate, overlapping twin moons which strike the ground one after the other, violently shaking the earth with moonlight. In her childhood, she and her elder sister, Rellana, so they are sisters, met these moons, overlapping as though nestled against one another. So they're not twins. So I'm not sure I understand the twin moon thing. Rellana's helm, ornate helm of Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight, fashioned from silver steel. Rellana, head of the royal family of Caria, was said to have given her younger sister, who renounced her lineage to chase after Mesmer, a gift of lustrous black hair. It's a beautiful headpiece, but obviously we're not going to be wearing it. And we can see Loretta's armor. Yeah, very similar. In that they're definitely made from the same materials, it seems. And both mention lapis lazuli blue. Ornate armor of Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight, fashioned from silver steel, adorned with the lapis lazuli blue that is symbolic of Caria. Its radiance is yet to fully fade. Yeah, maybe we'll pick this up. Did she not have gauntlets? Oh, she just had gloves. Interesting. Fashioned from quality leather. Okay, so we're not going to bother picking that up, actually. But I will, yeah, maybe we'll pick up Loretta's and see if we can fashion together a new armor set from that. Okay, well, I guess that's as good a place as any other. So thank you all very, very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.